Hello and welcome to AIC Off-Road. Today, this is a sponsored video from GardenState4x4.com, who has graciously provided me with this Smittybilt air compressor. I'm just going to do a quick unboxing of the compressor, see what you get with it, and then I've deflated my tires on my Jeep. This side I've deflated down to about 15 psi, what I normally do when I'm off-roading, and that side I've deflated almost entirely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill them back up and time-lapse that to get an idea of how long it takes to fill up the tires. So let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. Now this on GardenState4x4.com goes for about $70. It's cheaper online than on Garden State than it was on Amazon, a couple other sites I looked at for the exact same compressor. Comes in a nice box. It's a really nice bag. The zippers feel good on it, and the cloth feels nice. There's a pocket in the front for your hose. The disconnects on it are actually very premium feeling. And I like this here already, I can tell, because you can cut off the airflow and check your pressure as you're filling up, so it's a lot easier to gauge how much pressure is in your tires. And I really like these. Yeah, they feel really nice. One thing, I do have another compressor. These metal ends get very hot when you are filling the tires up with air. You also get an air filter. That's what this round thing is. Screws into the compressor. Especially when you're off-road, you want to keep the dust out of your compressor so it stays good for a long time. Comes with a couple of fuses, a needle for filling up balls, and then a couple of different ends for filling up other types of inflatables, like a raft or something. Here are the ends that you hook up to your car battery directly. Now, if you go off-road, or if you have a compressor that you use that you plug into your cigarette lighter, I highly recommend against a compressor like that. These hook up directly to the battery, and they have their own fuse, and they come with spare fuses typically. And that way you don't hurt the fuse or the cigarette lighter, which I've actually done, not on my Cherokee, but on my previous Jeep. I just had a little cigarette lighter one, and I blew the fuse and was pretty much stuck until somebody could come along and help me, because I didn't have another fuse for that, and it actually melted the back end because I was running it for too long. So when you hook it up directly to your battery, it's much better on the car, and you also can have a much better pump that has a much higher flow. So there's electrical. That's where you put your fuse in. And here's the pump itself. Just pulling this out. Wow. I have to say that this feels like a very high quality pump. I haven't done anything with it yet, other than just pulling it out of the bag. This is the first time I've opened it up. Has a really nice solid flat base. It looks like you could actually, yeah, this is actually something that could be mounted under your hood with this plate. This is what it looks like. It has some really nice rubber stands, so it damps the vibration. This obviously is the hose. So it's got a really nice long hose and allows for a good amount of flex, so you can get to all edges of your vehicle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start my Jeep and move the camera so you can see the tires. I'm going to fill up, as I said, fill them up and record that so you can see how long it takes. Again, I'll probably time-lapse that, but I'll mention how long it takes after I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll keep going. Alright, so I have it hooked up here. I have my timer ready to count, and now this, I pushed it now that it's hooked up, and it just releases air from the tire. So I'll go ahead and turn it on, and we'll see how long it takes. in 2 minutes to get it from right around 15 psi up to 35 psi, which is very quick for filling up the tire. So now I'm going to go ahead and move it to the other side, and we will attempt to fill up the tire that's down to about 1 psi. Alright, for this side, there's no pressure registering on the gauge at all. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. So it took about 3.5 minutes, so it took about 1.5 minutes longer to fill the tire up completely from empty up to about 33 psi, where I typically run these because it sits for a while and then tend to let a little air out. But that filled up very quickly, very nicely, and it's actually not as loud as my other compressor. The other thing I like about it, it's significantly faster than my other compressor. And the thing that's good with that is it doesn't get as hot. You can run it a little bit longer. The service interval, or how long you can use it, is probably a little bit longer on this one than on my other one. I don't know what it is on my other one, to be honest. So if you're somewhere you have to fill up all 4 tires and you're with somebody else whose compressor either doesn't work or they don't have one, you probably lend this to them and let them use it as well. I really like the extra hose on it. My other hose frequently broke just after this point, being that it was right next to this part of the compressor, which meant it had a lot of flex. So this has a little bit stronger hose near the point where my other hose would break. It definitely fills up very quickly. It's not as loud, but it's still loud. I mean, any compressor could be fairly noisy. I really like the bass on it. It gives it a nice bass. I like the handle on it. These compressors can get very hot, and so the ventilated grip on there keeps the handle at least fairly cool, if not this part. One thing I didn't notice until I started to put the filter on is this filter, it looks like it's actually serviceable. Go ahead and unscrew it here real quick. So there's actually a little screw there on the end, so you can unscrew that and service the filter or replace the filter that's on the inside of this housing, which is nice. The other one I have, you just have to toss the whole thing and replace the whole filter. Whereas with this one, I'm sure it's washable, probably a foam filter. It means that you don't have to worry about finding a replacement and keep it clean. If you have any questions about this particular compressor, the Smittybilt compressor, or about GardenState4x4.com, please ask below. More than happy to answer any questions about either of those or any other videos I've done. Again, this was sponsored by GardenState4x4.com. I'll put a link to this specific product in the description below. It's a great price on a great product. Thank you for watching.